Miller and Nino. Two little field mice with twitchy whiskers and bright and curious eyes were buzzing with excitement. Today was the day! The day of the great picnic adventure. Miller had packed a tiny wicker basket with the crunchiest sunflower seeds, the sweetest wild strawberries, and 2 crumbly pieces of cheddar cheese she had found near the farmhouse. Nino, ever the adventurer, had brought his favorite red and white checkered blanket. They found the perfect spot under a big, shady oak tree where the grass was soft and green. This is going to be the best picnic ever, squeaked Miller, carefully laying out their feast. Nino nodded enthusiastically, his little nose sniffing the air. I can already taste the cheese, he chirped. They spread the blanket, arranged the strawberries in a perfect circle, and were just about to take their first bite when, plop, a single drop of water landed right on Nino's nose. He blinked. Plop, another landed on a strawberry. Soon, the sky, which had been a brilliant blue just moments ago, turned a soft, pearly grey. Gentle raindrops began to fall, tapping a soft rhythm on the leaves of the oak tree. Oh no! cried Miller, her ears drooping. The rain! It's going to ruin our picnic! Nino looked at the sky, his cheerful face now a little bit sad. All our planning. For nothing, he sighed, fortune, as their perfect checkered blanket started to get damp. The strawberries looked even shinier now, but the cheese was getting wet. They quickly packed everything back into the basket and huddled under a large toadstool, watching the rain come down harder. The world seemed to have turned grey and gloomy. It wasn't the sunny picnic they had dreamed of at all. For a moment, they just sat there, listening to the pitter-patter of the rain. Miller sighed, but then Nino, who could never stay sad for long, noticed something. A small puddle was forming near their feet, but it wasn't a cold, muddy puddle. The sun, trying to peek through the clouds, was warming the water. Miller, look, he whispered, dipping a tiny paw in. It's warm. Miller hesitantly dipped her paw in too. It was like a tiny, warm bath. They giggled and splashed their paws, sending tiny ripples across the surface. Then Miller noticed something else. The raindrops clinging to the blades of grass were sparkling like tiny diamonds. Each one held a miniature, upside-down reflection of the world around them. Wow, she breathed, leaning in close. It's like the grass is wearing jewelry. They spent the next few minutes hopping from one blade of grass to another, peering into the tiny raindrop worlds. They saw their own tiny faces, the big oak tree, and the cloudy sky, all captured in a single drop of water. The rain didn't seem so gloomy anymore. Suddenly, the clouds parted just enough for a sunbeam to shine through. And there, stretched across the sky, was a magnificent rainbow. It shimmered with colors red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and violet. Miller and Nino stared in awe. It's a rainbow bridge, Nino exclaimed. They decided to have their picnic right there, under the magical light of the rainbow. They found a large, flat leaf that made a perfect dry table. They nibbled on their cheese, which tasted even better in the fresh, rain-washed air. The strawberries were plump and juicy, and the sunflower seeds had a satisfying crunch. They realized their rainy day picnic was even more special than the sunny one they had planned. They had discovered warm puddles to splash in, sparkly raindrop jewels to admire, and a beautiful rainbow to eat under. It wasn't the day they had expected, but it was an adventure they would never forget. As the sun set, painting the clouds in shades of pink and gold, Miller and Nino snuggled together, full and happy. They learned that sometimes the most wonderful surprises happen when things don't go exactly as planned,